hey, hold on. Wait. Yeah, where's the ticket thing?
This is your side.
I said that when I was running right in the line.
Trumpy's got it? Trump, you got it? Do you have the ticket? Play the game ticket?
No, we gotta get it stuff. There you go. Right.
Tiny.
Hey, where were you today? I know water. We had no water. We had no water.
I didn't
We were dying.
I didn't know.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are live from the Ballhockey.com Athletic Center in St. Catharines in the Bauer 2015 Clash of the Titans. It's our fourth quarterfinal game today, and it's between the Niagara Rebels, who are wearing red, and the Pittsburgh Gods, who won last year's tournament wearing white. My name's Paul Morris, and we're just getting underway here. We're 30 seconds into the first period. The Gods win the face-off, and a quick shot in on net in a Niagara, and the puck is frozen, and we'll have a face-off deep in the Niagara Rebel zone. In net for the Rebels is Greg Cerniak, and for the Pittsburgh Gods, John Rethage. Face-off in the Niagara zone here. They win the face-off and lose control, and the ball bounces around side of the net, and it goes in behind the net. Ball bounces around the red line and center here, and Pittsburgh shoot it back into the Niagara zone. Niagara behind their own net. With a clearing pass out over the red line and center and deep into the Pittsburgh zone, who fire it the full length, and it gets caught up there at center ice in the rafters. Winner of this game, of course, will go to the semifinals, which will be played later on this afternoon. And before the day is, we'll have a winner here of the Bauer 2015 Clash of the Titans tournament. The winner going home with $8,400. The pass in the corner. Pittsburgh is wearing white. The ball bouncing around. They put it back deep into the Niagara zone. Niagara pick it up in the corner. The ball bouncing around. Here's Pittsburgh bringing it in. A pass out in front, and that's stopped by Cerniak. Into the corner. Pittsburgh. The ball bouncing around in the corner, and here comes Niagara out of their own zone. The pace is fast and furious here. Both teams changing on the fly here. Ball up along the boards. Pittsburgh. Clearing shot that goes out to center and is knocked into the Niagara zone. Niagara from behind their own net with a pass out to center. It bounces in and will go the length of the floor and will be called for flooring. All right, the face-off deep in the Niagara Rebels zone. Ball bounces out in front of the net and gets cleared and dumped deep in. Here's a shot right on net. And a great save there by John Rethage, the goalkeeper for the Pittsburgh Gods. And the net knocked off its mooring, and they'll stop play here. Niagara making a tear for the net, running right into the goaltender. But everybody's okay. Face-off outside the Pittsburgh zone here. Niagara shoot the ball deep into the Pittsburgh zone, who take control and pass it out of their zone and over the red light. There's a shot that's blocked at the blue line. Niagara now with it. Pass up the middle of center. That is intercepted, and Pittsburgh bring it back into the Niagara zone. There's a shot over the shoulder. Bounces in front of the net. And Pittsburgh have it in the corner. Pittsburgh moving the ball around the net, lose possession, and here comes Niagara. Ball at the blue line. Here's a shot in net, blocked by the defenseman, and here comes Pittsburgh. Both teams going up and down the floor here. Pittsburgh changing on the fly with the ball bouncing in. There's a quick shot on net. And the man in front just misses it. Now it's into the corner. Pittsburgh pressing. There's a pass out front and a quick shot. That goes wide of the net. Along the boards. at the blue line. Niagara have with a pass across the ice. Misses a man, and it gets dumped into the corner. Niagara along the sideboards, brings it out to the blue line, looking for an open man. To the far side, there's a shot in on net, and Rethage sees all of that and stops play. Just getting started here in Game 4 of the quarterfinals between the Niagara Rebels and the Pittsburgh Gods. The Gods are wearing white, of course. The Rebels wearing red, of course. And here we go. Ball goes behind the Gods' net and out over the side, but Niagara shoot it back in. That's taken by Pittsburgh, who bring it out in front. That ball bounces off of Cerniak's glove and goes into the corner. Niagara now with the ball, coming out of their own zone. Pass over to the far wing. He brings that ball down, looking for the open man. There's a quick shot that goes wide of the net and comes around to the other side here. Niagara keep it in and dump it into the corner. With a pass out front, nobody's there, and intercepted by Pittsburgh. And now move it up along the sideboards and dump it all the way down into the Niagara zone, and that'll be called flooring. 7:45 remaining here in the first period. It's still early. No score in the game. Here's the face-off, and Pittsburgh win the face-off and round the boards behind their own net. It's in the corner. Niagara fighting for the ball. Bring it out in front. And that shot just goes wide of the net. Niagara, shot back to the point. That's deflected and up into the mesh. And we stop play here. Pittsburgh changing up on this play. Fresh set of legs as we're just getting going here. The pace has been fast. The score, no goals in the game so far. Here's a quick break by Niagara, who move it over, but the pass is intercepted, and it bounces down into the far end. Ball is in the corner, comes out to the blue line, and here comes Niagara out of their own zone. Into the corner. Niagara fighting for the ball behind the net. The Rebels have it. Pass out in front, and that hits a leg and bounces over to the other side. Niagara is wearing red. Pittsburgh is wearing white. The shot to the point. That hits a leg and goes wide of the net. Bounced off the ball. Another shot in. Pittsburgh have it now. They're wearing white. Here's a big shot. That shoots wide of the mark. It's behind the net and goes into the corner. Pittsburgh to the point. A cross-ice pass. Here's a shot. Oh, that one goes wide of the net. And play is stopped with 6 minutes and 33 seconds remaining. It's a fast game today. And we'll start the face-off deep in the Niagara zone. The face-off bouncing around and goes into the corner. Behind the Niagara net. Along the sideboards. Niagara up through the middle here, and that pass is intercepted. And the play is called. And Pittsburgh drawing a penalty on that play. And Niagara will have a face-off in the Pittsburgh zone, up one man with a man advantage. Here comes Pittsburgh on a break. And that's broken up. And the Niagara player was tripped up, and no call on the play. There's a shot wide of the net. Starting to get a little chippy on the floor right now. Niagara coming out of their own zone. They have the man advantage here. At the red line is center. Here's the pass to the blue line. They're bringing it over the blue line. Along the sideboards. They dump it into the corner. Looking for a pass out front. It comes out here to the side. Here's a pass to the point. Over to the slot. Here's another shot back. There's a guy. He scores! And there's a beautiful goal as Niagara score on the power play and take it up by a score of 1-0. A great shot from the point there. Just like that, Niagara take a 1-0 lead. 5:41 remaining here in the first period. In the quarterfinal game between the Pittsburgh Gods and the Niagara Rebels. The Pittsburgh Gods are the defending champions from last year. All right, here's Niagara from behind their own net, coming out of their own zone. Flip it out over the red line at center. It's batted down, and Pittsburgh have it now. Side pass into the middle, misses the mark, and bounces into the corner. Niagara coming out of their own end. Close checking there from Pittsburgh, but Niagara have it. Up along the sideboards, Pittsburgh clear it behind their own zone, but Niagara intercept. Knocked off the ball. Pittsburgh have it, coming out over their own blue line. There's a shot flipped into the Niagara zone. Knocked back out, and Niagara have it. Clearing attempt failed on that one, and now Niagara are hemmed into their own zone. The ball bouncing around there. And they flip it out down into the Pittsburgh zone, and that one's going to be called for flooring. 4:47 with Niagara up with a 1-0 lead here at the Bauer 2015 Clash of the Titans quarterfinal game between the Niagara Rebels and the Pittsburgh Gods. There's the face-off. Niagara have it behind the net, round the boards, along the side, and intercepted by Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh looking to even up the match here in the first period. They got the ball pass out in front. Nobody's there to get it. Goes over to the other side and over the blue line and dumped in by Niagara. Here's a shot up along the boards. Niagara is pressing. Clearing shot goes around the back. Out to the blue line. The ball's bouncing. That one deflected and goes in behind the Pittsburgh goal. There's another quick shot and a great save by Rethage. Oh, the ball's free in front of the net. Rethage doesn't know where it is. Whoa. And the Niagara player knocked the Pittsburgh player down from behind, but the ref didn't see it, splaying him across the floor. And now we have a stoppage in play here. That was dangerous.
The Rebels goal scored by number 7, Pierre-Marc Chernier. Assist to number 17, Kevin Kuzmarski. And number 12, John Adamu. That's Chernier from Kuzmarski and Adamu, putting Niagara up 1-0 over Pittsburgh.
And we're back into play here with Niagara up by a score of 1-0, but Pittsburgh now in the Niagara zone looking to even things up here. Both teams battling fiercely here. The ball is cleared, and it goes in to the Pittsburgh zone. Here's a pass across. In behind the Pittsburgh goal. Niagara in the corner. Pass back to the point. Here's a shot. Goes all the way through, but blocked in front of the net. But here's another shot. He scores! Niagara scoring a quick goal. And now go out to a 2-0 lead. As John Rethage couldn't control that rebound, it bounced out in front, and he was all tied up and didn't have a chance on that one. 3:23 remaining here in the first period. Niagara takes a 2-0 lead up against the Pittsburgh Gods. And here they come back into the Pittsburgh zone. Down the left-hand side of the net, behind the net. Pass out in front is blocked. And they got it back in the corner, behind the net. Niagara moving the ball very fast. Pittsburgh on their heels right now. There's a quick shot, and Rethage gets that one and deflects it into the corner. Clearing shot doesn't get out. Niagara out in front. There's a shot and a great shave by Lethbridge. There's the rebound in behind the net. Pass out front is blocked and bounces back into the other corner.
Niagara Rebels' second goal scored by number 64, Jesse Barbas. Assists to number 93, Andrew Cameron, and number 88, Josh Barbas. That's Barbas from Cameron and Barbas, putting Niagara up over Pittsburgh 2-0.
Niagara moving the ball in really quickly inside the Pittsburgh zone. Pittsburgh back on their heels, but now they've got it out over center. Pittsburgh changing on the fly here. That line obviously exhausted as Niagara running them down. And here comes Pittsburgh out in front of the Niagara net. Here's the shot from the point. Deflected and stopped before it gets to the goaltender, but knocked back in. Here comes Niagara out of their own zone. Passing back to the point and over to the far wing. There's a shot into the Pittsburgh zone that hits the backboards and bounces out in front. The ball is loose in front, but Pittsburgh pick it up, and we have a stop in play here. With Pittsburgh sending a man to the penalty box. Pittsburgh not helping themselves, taking penalties as they're down by a score of 2-0. 1 minute, 48 seconds remaining here in the first period. And Niagara have it in front of the net, but Pittsburgh take it over and dump it down into the Niagara zone. Here's Niagara. Great pass over the blue line. He shoots it. He's saved by Rethage. Niagara fumbling with the ball at center. Almost got by him that one, but Niagara have it back, and they bring it over the blue line. They've got the man advantage here. Here's a quick shot to the other side. He shoots. He scores! Another power play goal there for Niagara. They take an early 3-0 lead here in the first period. The Pittsburgh Gods shocked here in the first period as Niagara has really brought the game to them and got them back on their heels. Pittsburgh wins the face-off and get it into the Niagara zone. It's bouncing around there. The Niagara back check has been fantastic today. Pittsburgh really not finding a lot of room to move the ball around, but they got it behind the net right now. There's a pass out in front, but intercepted by Niagara. We're bringing the ball out of their own end. Line with a pass across. The ball bouncing in front. Here's a shot, and that one is saved by Rethage. There's another shot, and Rethage sees that again, pounces out, and he scores! And the Niagara Rebels off to an early 4-0 lead here. Wow. The Gods just cannot seem to handle the pressure that Niagara is bringing to the game here and not taking care of business in front of their own net. Those deflections and those rebounds have costed them. Now they're in the hole, 4-0. 41 seconds remaining here in this first period right now. The Pittsburgh Gods are the defending champions, but they got their work cut out for them. Still lots of time. We got 2 periods remaining. The Gods are wearing white and break into the Niagara zone. Here's a shot, and that one is deflected. Goes into the corner. Niagara in their own corner. Clearing shot up along the boards. Bring it over the red line in center. They're 2-on-1. Here's a pass across. He shoots it. A great save by Rethage. There's a pass behind the Pittsburgh net, and they're going to get out of this first period, and they're going to have to go over and rethink the way they've been playing this game here as Niagara have really tested the goaltender. With the Gods back on their heels for most of the first period. You're watching the Bauer 2:15 Clash of the Titans tournament here at the Ballhockey.com Athletic Center in St. Catharines. This is a quarterfinal game as both goaltenders meet each other at center. To exchange greetings, I suppose. All right, here we are for the beginning of the second period. In this game between the Pittsburgh Gods and the Niagara Rebel. The Rebels are wearing red. The Gods are wearing white, of course. And have their work cut out here for them for the remaining 2 periods, as they have to get something going here as they are down by 4 goals. And here we go for the second period. Niagara have had Pittsburgh running around. Pittsburgh having difficulty picking up other wingers in front of their own net on those rebounds. They've got their work cut out for them in the second period here. Here we go with the ball bouncing back into the Pittsburgh zone. Behind their own net, here comes Pittsburgh around the boards. Ball bounces out over center, and here comes Pittsburgh to the blue line. They shoot it in off the back boards. Bounces out to the blue line. Pittsburgh controlling the ball over to the far point. Here's a quick shot that goes wide of the net. And the Rebels clear their zone, and that one's called for flooring. We'll see what kind of changes the Pittsburgh make as they adjust to the press that the Niagara Rebels have made in this game. Face off deep in the Niagara zone. Niagara wins the draw and shoot it high, and it gets caught up there in the rafters, and they'll do it again. Pittsburgh win a quick face-off and get a quick shot off, and it doesn't get through. There's another shot in front of the net. And Greg Cerniak is there to stop the ball. He hasn't had a lot of work today. But Pittsburgh, given the fact that they won this tournament last year, definitely have a lot of experience on how to stay steady in the game. There's a shot that went wide of the net. Pittsburgh have the ball. There's a quick shot in that hits a leg. It's in beside the net. Trying to get it out in front, and Niagara block it. Niagara have it behind their own net. Clearing shot gets stopped along the sideboards, and here it is at center. Niagara hemmed in their own zone. Pittsburgh pressing. And they've got the ball and shoot the ball deep back behind the net, and it bounces on around the other side. Niagara behind their own net. Tipped out over the blue line. And Pittsburgh keep it in. They have it behind the Niagara net. Here they come. There's a ball right out in front, and nobody's there to knock it in. Here's Pittsburgh. Pressing on Niagara, have the ball. We'll bring it in, and it's bouncing around here in the neutral zone. It gets fired into the Niagara zone. Pittsburgh pushing. Both teams are changing on the fly. Here comes Niagara out of their own zone. Looking for a pass. Makes a move at center ice and dumps it in over the blue line and into the corner. Pittsburgh got to put something together here. They're down by 4 goals. It bounces off the backboards there, and there's Greg Cerniak. Stop play with 9:47 remaining here in the second period.
Niagara's third goal scored by number 17, Kevin Kuzmarski. Assist to number 70, Matthew David. Third goal, Kuzmarski from David.
There's a quick shot on that, and John Cerniak saw it all the way as it bounced just wide of the net. Here's Pittsburgh behind the Niagara goal, being checked. Moves the ball into the corner. Moves it behind the net. Pittsburgh fighting to see some room, and that ball is into the crowd, and we'll change the lines up.
Niagara Rebels' fourth goal, scored by Michael Lagerstrom. Assist to number 83, Gabe Rugi, and number 93, Andrew Cameron. That's Lagerstrom from Rugi and Cameron.
We're back into play here with 9:26 remaining here in the first period. Niagara have a 4-goal lead. And they have the ball deep in the Pittsburgh zone here in the corner. They play the ball behind the net. It bounces out in front. And John Rethage, goaltender for Pittsburgh, is there to freeze the play. All right, here's Pittsburgh, who send the ball over the center, and it's back into their own zone. Here's Niagara pressing again. They move the ball back to the blue line. Dump it back into the corner. Niagara out in front of the net, and a great save there by Lethridge. Niagara moving the ball around. Pass out front, and a great save by Rethage. Pittsburgh got to get something going here, having trouble getting out of their own end. Hemmed in the corner. They pass it around the back of the net. Niagara changing here on the fly, and they dump the ball deep in the Niagara zone. Here's Pittsburgh. Fight behind the net for the ball. 2-on-2, and out come the Rebels with the ball, but it bounces out in front. Here's Pittsburgh fighting for control of the ball. They can't get a chance. And Niagara take control of the ball here at center. Niagara doing a great job of controlling, and that ball is whistled with 7:52 remaining in the second period. All right, the face-off deep in the Niagara zone. Niagara wearing red. Pittsburgh wearing white. Ball now in the corner here in the Niagara zone. Bouncing along the sideboards and comes out to center. Pittsburgh dump it deep in. And a clearing pass goes into the crowd, and a face-off will take deep in the Niagara zone. 7:34. Dominating play, both on the floor and, of course, on the scoreboard with a score of 4-0. There's a quick shot on net. Niagara goaltender Greg Cerniak not seeing a lot of action today, but he had to be razor sharp on that shot. That's the type of thing that's going to get Pittsburgh back into this game, catching the goaltender quickly and unaware. That one's whistled dead. They're going to bring that one out into the neutral zone here for a face-off. Both teams change with 7 minutes and 8 seconds remaining here in the second period in this quarterfinal game between the Niagara Rebels and the Pittsburgh Gods. It's a quarterfinal game with a winner of this game going on to the semis. And I guess we can call them the money rounds. Ball comes back. Niagara have it in their own zone, working it behind their own net. Pittsburgh pressing them into their own zone. Clearing pass was intercepted, but Niagara still have it, and they bring it out over their own blue line. Over the red line at center. Pass over to the far wing. At the point, they move it into the corner, looking for a man out front. Pass to the point. There's a quick shot that goes wide of the net, and it's behind the net. Here comes Niagara. Looking out front. There's a quick shot, and saved by Rethage. Here come the Gods of Pittsburgh, firing the ball deep into the Niagara zone, who now take it out of their own end. Niagara quick on the ball, bringing it over the blue line. He circles back across to the other side. Nobody's there. He dives and tips it in. Here's a quick shot. He misses. Fans on the play. Pittsburgh have it. Try to clear their own zone. Niagara really bringing the game to Pittsburgh, who have got to find a way to solve the Niagara Rebel here today if they want to be in this. 5:57 remaining in the second period. Here comes Niagara over the blue line on a 2-on-1. Makes a move, and then he moves it behind that. Here's a shot out front. And the referee whistles that one dead. John Rethich, the goaltender for the Pittsburgh Gods, has been a busy man today. Saw that shot all the way. Pittsburgh lose the face-off, but it goes into the far corner. But they bring the play into the Niagara zone. It's behind the net. They dig it out behind the net and circle the ball behind the net. In the corner. There's a pass out front, but nobody's there. Comes all the way down into the Pittsburgh zone. Fired over to the far point. Pittsburgh at the red line at center. That pass went nowhere. Intercepted by Niagara. Pass it back. Here's a quick shot. Move the ball out front. Whoa. Rethich standing in here as Niagara circling around him with a barrage of shots. Both teams changing on the fly. Here's Niagara from behind their own net with a pass up along the blue line. Over the red line at center. They bring it into the Pittsburgh zone. There's a pass out front. Here's a shot! And that one goes over the net. The bounce out front. And Pittsburgh have got it. They clear their own zone. They bring it over the red line at center. Into the Niagara zone. They need a goal here. There's a front. Here's the shot. And that one's stopped by Cerniak. Well, there's the first time I think that Pittsburgh have really been dangerous here in this game, but Cerniak was there to stop him and have a stoppage in play with 4:33 remaining here in the second period in this quarterfinal game. Niagara up by a score of 4-0. Face off in the Niagara zone here. And they win the face off. It goes along the sideboards, fighting for the puck. Pittsburgh get it. Pass out front is blocked, but here's a shot from the point that just goes wide of the net. The ball is out in front. Here comes Niagara. Knock it out over center and into the Pittsburgh zone. Get the ball first, but there's a shot, and Rethich is there to stop it. Pittsburgh have it. Over to the other side. Knocked in. And Niagara coming out of their own zone here. Shoot at the full length, right on net. And Rethich is there to stop it. Pittsburgh just looking for anything, any kind of break to get back into this game here. And they shoot the ball deep down into the Niagara zone. Niagara coming out of their zone very quickly for most of the game. And now it's deep here in the Pittsburgh zone. Niagara out of the corner. And in behind the Pittsburgh goal. It's in the corner. And we've got a and some pushing and shoving taking place. And somebody's going to take a walk to the box here. So Pittsburgh are going to play with a man advantage here, and a great chance for them to get back into the game. They're down by a score of 4-0. There's 3:26 left in the game right now, or in the second period. Still lots of time, but they got to move quickly. Here's Niagara, who dumped the puck down into the Pittsburgh end. Here comes Pittsburgh. Looking for their first goal. They dump it into the Niagara corner. Knocked off the ball. Pittsburgh pick it up. The pass to the point. There's a quick shot. That one blocked out in front. And that one paddled out in front of the net, and it's cleared down into the Pittsburgh zone. Niagara changing on the fly. Here comes Pittsburgh. At the blue line, but he's stopped. Over to the far side. Over to the other wing. There's a pass into the slot. There's a quick shot. He shot it from his feet and didn't get that one away. Pittsburgh moving the ball around in the Niagara zone, and there's a great save by Cerniak. He saw all of that, and Niagara cleared the zone and all the way down. Less than a minute left here in the penalty. Pittsburgh with a man advantage. They need a goal with only 2 minutes, 19 seconds remaining here in the second period. There's the shot to the far wing. Pittsburgh setting it up at the red line. It comes over to the far side. There's a shot back into the point. There's a shot. That one is blocked and cleared outside the zone. At the red line, Pittsburgh moving the ball in. That ball goes just wide of the net. Bounces off the boards. And intercepted here by Niagara, who cleared over to the other side. Niagara down a man. There's a pass that goes out in front of the net. And Rethage is there to stop it. 1 minute, 43 seconds remaining here in this period. Here comes Pittsburgh. They're wearing white. Pittsburgh behind the Niagara goal. He's checked off the ball. Oh, he comes whistling out in front, and that's just going wide of the net, and that one is shot high above the net and in and into the mesh, and we have a stop and play here. Pittsburgh have yet to solve Niagara's defense right now, who have not given them much of a chance to get good, clear shots away. But here's Pittsburgh with the shot for the point, and there it is. They finally get one in. Pittsburgh with a quick shot for the point. Catching Greg Cerniak off guard. He didn't see much of that. That might have hit a leg to go in. And now the score is 4-1 for Niagara. Well, that will definitely help Pittsburgh as they try to crawl back into this game here. There's still lots of time for them to get going, and they're going to need quick goals like that if they want to crawl back into this. Ball is shot into the zone, and we'll go back to center, and we'll start this all over again. 1 minute, 22 seconds remaining here in the second period. There's the face-off. It bounces around center, and it's into the Niagara zone. They dump it into the Pittsburgh end of the floor, who carry it into their own corner. The Niagara forecheck, dangerous. Not giving Pittsburgh a lot of time to work with the ball. They've got it behind the Niagara net. It comes out in front, and Niagara take it out of their own zone, over the red line, over the blue line, and into the corner. Niagara changing on the fly. 51 seconds remaining in the second period here. Niagara pressing. But Pittsburgh dump it out with a quick shot, and Cerniak saw all of that one, and it bounces over into the side here. The ball bounces onto the sideboards here. Here's Pittsburgh. 32 seconds remaining here. Being checked closely. Niagara come out of their own end here. Just under 30 seconds. Here's a shot out in front, and it misses the mark, but it bounces into the corner. Niagara up along the sideboards. That ball bounces behind the net. Left there, and Pittsburgh pick it up. Bring it up with the sideboards and dump it into the Niagara zone. 7 seconds remaining here. Niagara with the ball. The Pittsburgh player trying to bounce him off the ball. And some pushing and shoving finishes up the end of this period here as we finish the end of the second period with Niagara with a very commanding 4-1 lead here. Although you got to give it to Pittsburgh. Got a nice goal there near the end of the period.
Pittsburgh goal scored by number 68, Mike Bain. Assist to number 76, Jeff Gingell. That's Bain from Gingell. Putting Pittsburgh on the board, trailing Niagara 4-1, heading into the third. Getting set for the third period. It's Kevin Jack in now. Our thanks to Paul Morris for providing play-by-play commentary throughout the quarterfinals this morning. I'll be handling the audio for the third period here. The Pittsburgh Gods against the Niagara Rebels. Now, the Pittsburgh Gods came into this tournament somewhat as favorites. How could they not be? They won this thing last year. So they come up north of the border once again and find themselves down 3 goals going into the third period of the quarterfinals. If the Gods can at least find the back of the net 3 times in the next 12 minutes, they're going back to Pennsylvania. As we are underway in the third period, Rebels work the ball into the slot. That takes a funny bounce. Gods now lifting a high one into the Rebels bench. Face-off now coming deep in Pittsburgh zone. Just to the right of Rathage. He's the goaltender there, number 29. We got Satachi here lining in for center for the Niagara Rebels. Facing off against Hain for the Gods, number 7. Hain wins it. Pittsburgh wraps it around, clears the zone. They one-handed in now to the Rebel zone, but they corral that behind their own net. Working out now up the left side. Cross ice. Rebels just maintaining control of the ball. (17) able to knife that one deep. Goes the length of the floor. 17 now with it with the Rebels deep in their zone. Nifty little backhand pass to 70 who was streaking in. Unable to get a chance though, so he throws it back to the point. Cycling the ball now, the Rebels are. As just over a minute has passed here in the third period. They're nursing a 4-3 lead, or 4-1 lead rather, 3-goal lead, but they're going to the penalty box. As soon as the Rebels touch it here, the Gods have pulled their goaltender, so it's 6-on-5 momentarily. As the Rebels touch the ball, Kevin Kuzmarski is going to the box for the Niagara Rebels. 2 minutes for a hook. Pittsburgh Gods scored their only goal of the game on the power play. So we'll see if they can make it work again. Getting their power play unit out there. It's Hahn again on the draw. Wins it back to Gregory. Gregory winds, fires. That gets deflected into the mesh. We'll have a face-off coming up deep in the zone, just to the right of Cerniak. Greg Cerniak between the pipes for the Rebels. One of the best goaltenders in Niagara, one of the best in ball hockey. Backstopping the Rebels here to a 4-1 lead. Shot misses the mark. Gods have it on the power play. Back to Gregory at the back end. His one-timer. Swallowed by Cerniak. Draws a crowd. Ball stayed out, however. 10:19 to go here in the third period. We've got Hahn under center. Dutin wearing 15 on his right side. It's number 8 here going back for the ball. That's Zimic. Zimic carries it up over center. Dumps it in far corner for Gregory. Chips it over to 15. 15 back to Hahn now. Hahn over to Gregory. One-touch pass over to Zimic. Hahn gets that. Was unable, though, to connect with Gregory, so the ball goes down into the Pittsburgh God zone. About 60 seconds gone in the power play so far. The Gods looking to get one here, get back within 2. They trail 4-1 to the defending champions. This is the Bauer Clash of the Titans 2015, live from the Ballhockey.com Athletic Center. As that pass into the slot hits a stick, goes to the mesh. Referees determine whose stick that hit. It looked like it just caught a piece of Hahn. Had he caught a little bit more of that ball, it probably would have ended up in the back of the net. It was a nice pass right through the crease, but instead hit the top of the stick and deflected.
it high up and over the glass. Still a power play, though, for the Gods. .24 now with it, up over the blue line. And over the red. Wines, fires. Cerniak way out of his net to stop that. 64. The Rebels able to pick that out of midair, clear it the length of the floor, kill off a few more valuable seconds. Cerniak pounces on that rebound off the back wall. And with 9:03 to go in the third period, the Pittsburgh Gods find themselves running out of time on this power play and also in this game. Down 4-1, need to score 3 goals in the next 9 minutes and 3 seconds. Not exactly sure how much time they have on the power play, but not much. I would say 30 seconds or less. As Hahn gets in for the draw, kind of gets scrambled up there. 15 tried to snap something, but too many bodies in front. 24 winds and shoots now. That goes wide around the boards, ends up in the Rebels players' bench. Looks like Cerniak got a piece of that, though, to make the save, and as such, the faceoff will remain deep in the Rebel zone, just to the right of the goaltender. We got Josh Barbas lining up for the draw, 88 for the Rebels. Just kind of mucks things up there. Now Josh has it back again before he gets checked by the Gods defenseman. Power play here for the Gods as they're working it around the perimeter. Now they try to work something in closer to the net. Can't connect. It's Lagerstrom on the far side. Finds Josh Barbas. Here's a 2-on-1 opportunity. He elects to shoot. It either hit a body in front or was a nice save by Rathage. 95 for the Gods. Throws it up the boards to 15, who tracks that down in the offensive zone. Battling for it now with number 7. Does some yeoman's work and momentarily is able to get the ball for the Rebels. But the Gods fire a sharp angle shot on Cerniak, who blockers that one calmly. It's 12 now for the Rebels. Firing it back to 7. Lagerstrom throws it deep and is the first to run in after it. Good wheels there on 24 for the Rebels. Kuzmarski briefly forechecking. Now it's Gregory, at least one of the Gregory brothers. That's Stephen Gregory, number 23. Trying to work the ball in front, but just not to be. As it's a 3-on-2 now for the Rebels. Finds the high guy, back to the shooter. Fakes a shot. Changes his angle. Fires wide. Back to the point now for a one-timer. Too high. Kuzmarski didn't get all of that one. So it sails into the webbing up over the net. Didn't touch anybody, so the face-off is coming out just outside the Pittsburgh Gods blue line. Playing 3 12-minute periods. We've had 4 minutes, 43 seconds gone so far in the third. Rebels defenseman tried to kick that out of midair. Missed. Gods dump it in deep now. Hard after it. And it works. They're able to gain possession of the ball. 70 quickly takes it away. There's a quick snapshot. Nearly beat the goaltender. Rathage had to be sharp to make that save. 11 with it with a quick wrap. That's deflected down into the Rebel zone, but no forecheckers for the Gods to speak of. D to D. Wrap around. 58 has it now. Will likely look to gain the blue line and then throw it down. Icing or flooring, as it's known in ball hockey. The cutoff in ball hockey is the blue line. If you're used to watching ice hockey, you know that if you throw the ball or the puck the length of the ice on your side of the red line, that's icing. In ball, clear your own blue line, and then you are free to throw the ball the length of the floor without punishment. So all the Rebels need to do here is gain the blue line and then throw the ball deep into the God zone to kill off some time, and we'll see if that's their game plan. But unable to get the blue line there, Now they have, and it goes beyond the Pittsburgh's blue line. 64 had a man available in front. That dominoed off a few players, or pinballed rather, and ended up in the glove of Rathage. So he stops things with 6:13 to go in the third period. We've got a face-off deep in Pittsburgh zone. It's Pittsburgh just running out of time here, it seems. .24 now for the Gods, just quarterbacking things, and seems the Rebels are happy to let them do so. Halfway point now with the third period as we just crossed the 6-minute mark. That shot just goes wide. Seemed harmless. It's Hayne working in hard for Pittsburgh. That goes off the foot of Niagara Rebels, number 12, John Adamu. Deflected up over the glass. So we'll stop things with 5:41 to go in the third period. Face off to the left of Cerniak. Coming up for the Rebels, Lagerstrom on the left. There's almost a chance for the Pittsburgh Gods as they tried to connect with a sprinting right winger who appeared to have a step, but unable to connect as Greg just fans on that attempt to keep the ball in the zone. 77 now. Players calling for an offside call. Ref saw it a different way. As another minute ticks off the clock for the Niagara Rebels. Now under 5 minutes left. The ball just momentarily hit the mesh over the backboards. Chance for the slot for Gregory off that draw. Pittsburgh has been able to generate some offense off the offensive zone draws by having that winger on the boards walk to the slot, and if the draw is won, the ball ends up on his stick. However, Cerniak has stood up to the task almost each and every time. Save the one that has beat him thus far, but it's been enough for the Niagara Rebels. 4-1 now with 4:41 to go in the third period. A win here will put the Rebels into the money. Top 4 teams get paid. So the 4 teams that advance to the semifinals have automatically guaranteed themselves some money. We've got $1,400 for third and fourth. Second place wins $2,800. And the first place grand prize pool this year is $8,400 at the Bauer Clash of the Titans 2015 Ball Hockey Tournament, courtesy of Ballhockey.com and Bauer Hockey. .64 now with it. Throws it over to Josh Barbas. His snapshot sails wide. Mike Barbas in there with him, along with Jesse Barbas. It's a line of Barbases. 88, 64, and 27. That's Josh with the ball. Over to Jesse. Jesse falls. He claims he got pushed. Pittsburgh Gods, rather. Tried a bit of a Hail Mary pass there. Fortunate for them, the intended receiver, the right winger, was able to get a stick on it. Negated the flooring or the icing, but was unable to actually control the ball. So Greg Cerniak smothered up. And with 3:51 to go in the third period, we've got a face-off deep in Niagara zone. Lagerstrom on the left. Stevie Alvo down the middle. Gabe Ruggi on the right for the Niagara Rebels. Referee says, let's do that again. Pittsburgh will have to come up with a new centerman. So Hain looking at his options. Decides that Avampato is his best one. Number 10 there, Avampato. And the Pittsburgh Gods have already pulled their goaltender, trailing 3 goals. So empty net opportunity here for the Rebels. For Pittsburgh, it's 6 runners against 5 for Niagara. Really what Pittsburgh's hoping to do here, strike quickly before this happens. Nice run by Steve Gregory to get back and challenge Marcus Lagerstrom for that ball. 24 there, Lagerstrom, one of the fastest ball hockey players around. But Gregory showing that he was up to the task and able to at least meet him halfway at that ball and chip it over the glass. Had Lagerstrom beat him to the ball, it looked like he was just going to be able to soft one into the empty net and put this thing on ice for the Rebels if it isn't already. 3:15 to go now. Rebels in red, leading Pittsburgh, the defending champions, in white, 4-1 here at the Clash of the Titans. Started with 14 teams. Round robin narrowed that to 12. Top 4 got a bye. Quarterfinals here. 3 teams have already punched their cards through to the semifinals, and the Niagara Rebels are looking to join them with a win here. Pittsburgh Gods went the distance last year. They won this tournament, the Clash of the Titans in St. Catharines. Came back to defend, but doesn't look like 2015 is going to be their year, barring a miracle. That ball gets dumped in deep. Gregory on the far wall, looking through the seam, finds 24. Couldn't control the pass, however. Back to the point. They go D to D, working the perimeter, Pittsburgh. Now they try and get something through. They do. High shot. Looked like Cerniak, despite the traffic in front, saw that the whole way and was able to hold it and hold on to the rebound. 2:10 to go now in the third period. Face off to the right of Cerniak. Timeout here, Pittsburgh Gods. Their coach better have some godlike speech prepared for them if he's going to come up with some sort of winning strategy in the last 2 minutes and 10 seconds to determine a way for Pittsburgh to score 3 goals here against a pretty stingy Niagara Rebels defense. Ballhockey.com has been running games out of 2 facilities in St. Catharines on Friday and Saturday. The other being the Hague Bowl Arena in St. Catharines, the famed Hague Bowl. This is the main ball hockey athletic complex, Ballhockey.com athletic complex in St. Catharines on Melbourne Street. Superb facility, the bar upstairs. Got change rooms, second to none. The players are well accommodated here in St. Catharines and Niagara, Ontario, Canada. .64 of the Rebels didn't like the way that he was being triple teamed in the corner. So decides to push back a little bit. And Pittsburgh, probably in the back of their minds, knowing that they're 2 minutes away from an early exit from this year's tournament. A lot of the players a little upset with that, so we'll see how they handle or take out their frustrations in the last 120 seconds here of this quarterfinal matchup. And just like that, they win the draw back to 58. He takes a soft one into the net. Evan Huckalo was the defenseman there, so with 1:57 to go, that puts Niagara up 5 5-1 here in the third period. Pittsburgh sends Rethage, back between the pipes, their goaltender. Have to say, met some of the Pittsburgh Gods players, and they're very respectable. Nice guys who enjoy the opportunity to come up here to Niagara, enjoy its splendor, and, of course, play some very competitive ball hockey. One of the best teams in North America for the last 5 or 10 years, the Pittsburgh Gods. They've won a lot of tournaments, but it looks like Clash of the Titans 2015 is not going to be one of them. So one thing that will be definite after this game is a new champion will be crowned for Clash of the Titans in St. Catharines, hosted by Ballhockey.com. That little dump it attempt goes a little too high, ends up in the mesh. $1:25 to go in the third period. Putting the finishing touches on a win are the Niagara Rebels. So far this morning, we've seen the Niagara Rebels, the Niagara Monarchs, the North York Hitmen win their games. And my apologies, I'm forgetting the fourth quarterfinalist at this moment in time. There's a quick shot from just inside the blue line. 1 minute to play in the third period. Soft little dump in there by the Niagara Rebels forward. Eating away, more seconds off the clock. Still more work to do for the Rebels, but I imagine that they will be a little exuberant after this win, guaranteeing themselves at least some of the prize pool. The losers in the semis, or the third and fourth place finishers, each get $1,400. It's more than the $1,000 they paid to get into the tournament. And Pittsburgh's decided that that's enough. Yeah, Pittsburgh's decided that that's enough. No reason to play the last 15 seconds with somebody being hurt or doing something stupid. I mentioned they are gentlemen on and off the floor, and they're going to shake hands here with the Niagara Rebels, and I'm sure wish them the best of luck in the semifinals and maybe in the finals later this afternoon. Coming up next, we've got the North York Hitmen up against the Midnight Express from Brampton. So it looks like we have the Niagara Rebels facing the Niagara Monarchs in the other semifinal. So it's kind of a battle of the GTA versus a battle of Niagara. And then the two winners will face off in the finals later this afternoon. For all of us at Ballhockey.com and WeeStream, info at WeeStream.com for more info. Thanks so much for watching, and stick around.